Right, hello. We are live. I'm just going to change this camera. This is the Fasttrack FBA weekly, call to just answer questions if you guys have got them. So if you give me 2 seconds, I'm just going to jump on and check that we're live. But if you are, do drop drop your questions down below. Drop your questions down below. So just put that on there now. If you can do that, drop your questions down below. And the whole point behind this is really to kind of help you guys. So if you are obviously selling on Amazon, thinking about getting UK, USA, anywhere, and you just want kind of maybe to ask questions, I'm not saying I know the answers, but I can probably help out. And obviously I'm here to help. And I mean, I can talk about my business and what I'm doing, which obviously I do. But this is really, if you've got questions, I'm really happy to answer them for you guys. So let me just check we're live. And if you are joining, then do obviously drop a hello, a hi, just let me know you're actually here. And obviously it's working. So I'm going to quickly check it on here. So Fasttrack FBA. I'm just checking right now on, I think we're live. There we go. Stop. Cool. Okay, so that should be working now. That's fine. And yeah, so if you've got questions, drop them down below. Honestly, things we got here. Hi Tom. Hey, good honestly to see you. Am I back at someone's just asked me, obviously you've got questions, drop them down below. Someone's asked me, are you back in Mexico? Yes, I am back in Mexico. I'm so happy. Honestly, I don't think you realize how much I love the sun. You need to be here. So honestly, that's it. So if you guys are here, just drop a hi, and then obviously just give me any questions, anything you want to know. There's a lot going on in my business, honestly, a lot. I just had a lot of update meetings. It's like, so much. But I could talk about them. But honestly, guys, I'm here to help you in your businesses. So do let me know in the comments down below. Brav travel, afternoon. Hey, afternoon. Let me know. I'm looking to do obviously some traveling. If you want to know, I've got a plan to do February this year. I'm going Cancun, Houston, Miami, Tampa. I'm going to go meet someone who's doing $100 million a year on Amazon. It's like incredible. So it's good. So hi, Tom. Honestly, great to see you. Aminda. Let me know your questions down below. So a couple of things. If you started again with 1,000, how would you scale? Okay, cool. So first, great question, by the way, and thank you for asking. I think real first thing to think about is a very fundamental level. Amazon is it just eats money. And what do I mean by that? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take that £1,000, you're going to invest it into products, and you're going to get an ROI on that product. And then that ROI has to pay for your expenses. And obviously then you're going to take a profit out of it. So if you're going to ask me £1,000, it's not a huge amount to start with at all. And while you see a lot of people say hey, I only started with 1,000, what they probably don't say is they started with 1,000, showed that it worked, and then went and got a £10,000 credit card. That's what a lot of things that actually really happened, kind of behind the scenes. So top tip for £1,000, what would I do? If you can, go do RA. You're probably going to find cheaper deals. You can literally just go out with your scanning app, scan some barcodes. You're going to be happy. I would, if I was going to do £1,000, I'd go do RA, get out there looking for clearance sections. You're looking to maximize, turn that £1,000 as much as possible. I wouldn't be going and buying a lead service. I definitely wouldn't be getting a VA. Obviously, you'd want your Amazon seller subscription professional you got to get. And the only other thing I might get is once I've bought loads of products and shipped them into Amazon, is I would probably go to sell aboard. I have an affiliate link. If you do fasttrackfba.com/tools, and you can get a 2-month free trial just to do the profit and loss. That's it, really. The reason is because you get 2 months free. Seller Toolkit have a 14-day, but I use that rather than Seller Board. The 2 months is free. And the reason is that £1,000 isn't a huge amount to start a trading business. That's what we do. And what you're looking to do is you're trying to, the more other stuff you buy, the less money you can actually spend on stock. And interesting enough, lead services, tools, VAs, they don't make you money. What makes you the money is the stock itself. So you want the most amount of that £1,000 to go into stock. So you can pretty much do the entire business off a £30 subscription to Amazon Seller. And even when stuff goes in online, i.e. you get stuff that goes into Amazon to sell, I would be manually repricing. Honestly, I would. And I'd want to churn that money so get the best ROI as I can. The only other thing I'd probably actually recommend, sorry, tell a lie, I'd probably get SaaS, Seller AMP. And the reason is it's about £15 a month. It has a phone app which you can use, and it also has a web Chrome app, and in those as well it has the keeper graphs. So it will do all the kind of stuff to Seller Central. So I would actually get that. I think that's really, really good. And that's not much more. And I think that's worth it for getting started because you get the sales data. And that's all you really need. Right? You could do it with just SaaS and a professional subscription, manually repriced. And once the products go live, go use the 2-month free trial of Seller Board, and then you'll start seeing your profits. And you want to churn, you put that money in, sell it, and keep doing that as much as you can, to try and grow it. And then once you can't do that anymore, i.e. you've got money sat in the bank, then start looking at buying like lead services or anything else. I hope that makes sense. Great question. Let's kind of jump through. We've got lots of questions coming in. Thank you, guys. I love questions. Anthony Peters says, hey, do you do any wholesale? I wondering how you managed to find so many items doing vanilla OA in the UK. Long story short, if I ask you, I don't do any wholesale. We are starting it. We're going to make our first purchase next week. But if here's an analogy, if I tell you, if I was looking for deals which made 1% ROI, you'd be like, you're the dime a dozen. You could spend £1 billion on them. Really simple. Well, interesting enough, we don't look for 1% ROI, but obviously the ROI we're looking for is probably going to be lower than yours. So we'll probably look for about 20% ROI, but we will even go down to like 15, even 10% ROI, just because my methodology that I think about it is that if I have like £10,000 in the bank, and let's say, for example, I can only find enough deals to spend 1,000 at my metric, well, I've got 9,000 still sat there. And you know what? That 9,000 is making me 0% ROI in the bank. So if I'm making 10% from Amazon in 2-3 months, that's 40% ROI per year. And that's great. And what I'm not saying is that you should go out there and go do low profit items. But what I do think is that if you've got a lot of cash available, putting it in a 10% ROI product is better than putting it in nothing, because as long as you're making some money on it, it's better than zero money. That's my thought. So yes, we can do the volume, but my margins are lower. We probably operate on an average netting out about 19, 20%. That's about where we're at across the board on results. So kind of gives you an idea. Great question. T. Clapson, hey Tom, do you have any insight on VA contracts? I want to have an agreement in place, but I don't know where to begin. Do you have a standard template to share? Great question. Go into the Fasttrack FBA. Top tip, hire a VA from Fasttrack FBA VA Academy. And the reason why I say that is not for the fact that obviously we do the service, it is really, really good. We do all these contracts for you. Also, you get access to me and my team and all the resources. So if you hire your first one from us, fantastic. And then obviously you can go hire all the second and third one yourself, not a problem. But I genuinely believe it's so much, so the 597 is a no-brainer. It really is. We have so much support, and you get weekly calls with me and my team about VAs and how to support them grow. Trust me, I've learned so much, and you just can't do that on your own. You're going to try and reinvent the wheel. It's not worth it. But if you do want your answer, go onto Fasttrack FBA YouTube channel, look at all my VA Academy videos. There'll probably be a playlist. One of the older ones, I think I was in the Philippines at the time, it has a free download, which is a contract. So you can just use that. So I hope that answers your question. Great question. Thank you very much. Xavier said, I'm thinking about using a prep center. Can you please explain the process? Do you need to list your products in Amazon Seller Central first, or the prep center will do it? So, good question. Long story short, go find a product like you normally would. And before you buy it, you should create the listing on Amazon, obviously in this Seller Central back of house. And the reason is it doesn't go live on Amazon until the stock arrives. So you've created the listing, and then also by doing that, you know that you can sell it and you're not gated. So then obviously what you're going to do is you're going to buy the product. Instead of shipping it to your house, you ship it to the prep center. The prep center will check it in, maybe on like a Google sheet, to say, Lego 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has now been delivered, 5 items. And you're like, cool. Now, it generally happens one of two ways. Most prep centers will do the shipment for you. So what you'll just kind of select all the products. So on the spreadsheets, you'll be like Lego 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Lego 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, Lego something else. Total units are like 5 of each. That'd be 15 units. Sorry, I just had a phone call coming in. So turn off that. So the next thing is to say that then once they kind of, you just say, look, these 15 items, can you please put in a shipment? And they'll basically create the shipment for you. But they can only create the shipment because the SKUs and the ASINs are already in the Seller Central. So they'll do that. Now, some prep centers don't do the shipments and you've got to do it yourself. But generally speaking, that's the way it works. So Xavier, that's it. It's pretty simple. You just got to make sure the SKUs and the ASINs are already in your Seller Central account. Let me know down below if there's any questions. So where are we now? My God, I've got to go quicker. Too many questions. Sorry, I will get through them, I promise you. Are there any plans to offer wholesale leads as a service at some point? If there's any time for it, not at the moment, not anytime soon. At a very fundamental level, the reason why I probably would be against it is because we can't guarantee you can create the account, and they're very hard to quantifiably measure. Like, they're really hard to find, and also the value isn't in the value today; it's the value. And also a lead is like, if I find you a deal which makes you 30% ROI, you might be able to negotiate and get that to 60%. And that's a lot more valuable now, but I can't guarantee that you could negotiate to the same price. And even if I could negotiate it to 60%, doesn't mean that you can, or the supplier, be willing to do it with you. So generally speaking, probably not. That's my thoughts. So no plans this year at least. We'll see how it goes. I need to do my own VA admin wholesale service. Great question there, thank you. Claudia, hi Tom, do you know what is the equivalent of inventory labs, keeps track of inventory for the UK market? So we use like Seller Toolkit. I have a free trial. You can do fasttrackfba.com/tools. That helps manage inventory, and they help like replenishing. We also have the USS, which is an Excel spreadsheet, but that's not soft. It's an Excel spreadsheet rather than software. I'd probably recommend like Seller Toolkit, but then that would be in the same category as like seller board. So it's probably not a fully functional inventory lab. I'd probably just do a quick thing. Do look for alternative inventory labs, and they will probably cater for the UK market as well. Whereas I appreciate inventory labs is UK or USA only. I hope that answers your question. It's not brilliant, but do look at Seller Toolkit. I do really like it. Wholesale more expensive on some of my lines. Yeah, agreed. Wholesale is more expensive on some of the lines. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But this is it. We've got to do it. Adam, you motivated a lot. Perfect for a Monday when we need it. Yeah, fantastic, Ansi. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and I'm glad you can. I'm glad I'm helping you out. BRV travel. How do you deal with undercutters? Great question. And actually, I thought about creating a video on this, like penny pinchers. We've got one that I was doing. I was kind of thinking about what the content would be. First tip, and I've got to say this to everyone: when someone is cheaper than you or undercutting your one pricing, you are going to have an emotional reaction. I promise you this. Oh my God, these cheeky. They're cutting the price. They're crashing the listing. They're doing it all. How dare they? I hate them. Oh, it's that guy again. Recognize it and take the emotions out. Go walk away, grab a coffee, and then come back. The reason is if you start trying to run your business when you're in an emotional state, you will make bad decisions. You cannot do that. I promise you. You have to remove emotions from business decisions. So first of all, remove the emotions. Number two, you assume nothing. So what does that mean? Oh my God, how can he be making money? How do you know he even brought it the same price? Like, he might have got it cheap, he might have a discount, he might work with a wholesaler and get a bulk buy. It might be end of line clearance section. You just don't know. Assume nothing. And then the next question is now look at the market conditions. So analyze the market conditions. So what would I do? I'd be looking at like the listing sales, how many is it selling? How much stock has this guy got? How likely is he to sell out, or how soon will he sell out? Once I can estimate that he's going to sell out, like, will it take a long time, or will it be quite quick? If it's quite quick, I'd be like, you know what, mate, you can just deal with undercutting, keep selling, sell through. But if it's going to be a long time, like the listing's selling 20 per month and he's got 150 in stock, I might be like, look, you know what, I can't hold out, I can't wait that long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to lower my price. And the thing is sometimes you might just have to do that. And the whole point is that you're going to lose money on that one product. I know, it's super annoying. But I think when we go into this game is that we understand that we are operating in a market condition, and we understand that we can't set the price. Well, we can, but it doesn't mean it's going to sell at that price. The market changes, and sometimes we have to adapt. Sometimes the market goes up, we make really good money and we're super happy, but also on the inverse, it goes down. So what we need to do is we need to look at that ASIN and say, hey, why has this gone down? What's happened? Is there anything I can learn from it? But don't take it personally. My God, take the emotions out of it. This isn't an emotional thing. So that would be my top tip. BRV travel, let me know down below if that's helpful. Harminder, we signed up for a VA service this morning. Looking forward to the coming months. Fantastic. Hey, yeah, definitely. Honestly, really good. I think you'll really love it. And there's we went from £60,000 a month revenue in January up to 400,000 a month in December, and that would never have been possible without building a team. Like, I promise you that. If there's the biggest thing, if you want to grow, And a VA isn't going to deliver results tomorrow, even the next 3 months. Like, wow, they're smashing it. No. But over the course of 6 months to a year, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. But you'll also understand that when you're hiring people, it takes time. And if you get the right people, that will be paying dividends for months and years to come. So I promise you, the results that I will achieve this year will be the consequence of the actions I took a year ago. So yeah, really good. Well done. Terry, thanks a lot. Fantastic. Glad I could help. Hey, Tom, how to find good deals for online arbitrage in the UK? Top tip for you, Ali. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, we find deals. Look, I think the question is I could sit here and try and promote Fasttrack FBA leads. Obviously, you can check. You can look at the deals. It's up to you. Fasttrackfba.com/leads. That's a service we do for the UK and US. And again, you get to pick and choose the deals you want. But I think, look, long story, Ali, is the question is you need to learn this yourself. And the reason is if there was a magic formula, here's how you find the good deals, that wouldn't last very long. Like if you did this, because the moment I tell someone, they might tell someone else, and all of a sudden everyone now knows. So there isn't really that. It doesn't really exist. It's about trying to find the best opportunities to come available. And the very nature of what we do in online arbitrage is that where we're sourcing from, stores are always dynamically changing. So what does that mean? Well, their prices change. Maybe the store doesn't change, but the Amazon price changes because stock levels. Talk about printers during COVID. They just went out of stock, but the prices on stores stayed the same, that you could buy and resell at a very high profit. But on the other hand, it might be a store now has a voucher code and they come in. So the top tip for you is you just got to learn your trade, mate. Honestly, I really say that. You've got to learn your trade, put in the hours. The reason why, and interesting, the thing which I will share here is the people who are doing this well, you look at like the Amazon Lits, you look at like Watch the Amazon, Larry Lebowski. These guys have been doing it for years, and I mean years. They've honed their trade, and they appreciate the fact that there is no shortcuts. It's about just doing it right. So put in the groundwork, get it right. Don't expect results in the first year. I promise you that. But in like year 3, 4, and 5, you're going to be like, wow. Look at Watch Me Amazon, look at Larry. They're like 5, 8 years in. They're doing tens of millions a year. That is what's possible. There is no job I think you can go and get tomorrow that in 5 and maybe 10 years' time, you can be doing millions of pounds in profit. Like, let's say, for example, they're making a 10% margin. That's £1 million a year at least. There is no job you could do that. But you could start a business, work your ass off, and in 10 years' time, you'll make £1 million in profit. That's incredible, absolutely incredible. And that's what I think people don't understand. So that's my takeaway. T. Clapton, got 2 VAs already, but need documentation in place, really. Fantastic. Yeah, honestly, VA Academy, I'm not going to lie, Terry. Just join. We have the documentation. This is it. You're paying for the documentation, paying for the service. It's a one-off fee. You have access to that for the rest of your life. Easy. Honestly, no brainer. Bruv Travel, what amount of time do you look at any of your items selling, and if they go over that, you just drop them cost or whatever? Again, it's up to you, your business model. For us, I think we do about 2 months, but 90 days. We're high volume. We're about, we've got hundreds of thousands in cash, and we're just churning that. So I think the question to you is about understand your model. Also, as well, understand the marketplace you're competing in. If you've got like £2,000 and you're trying to compete versus, let's say, me with a couple of 100,000, I'm going to be a lot more aggressive than you, and it's going to be a challenge for you to be competing against me because I can operate at lower margins. 10% on 100,000 is 10,000. 10% of 1,000 is £100. So I can live off 10,000, but I can't live off £100. So you have to play the game differently depending on how much cash you've got. So just understand that. But I think for you is the real question. If you want a really good kind of thought process to think about in this, if you've got money sat in the bank, don't bother clearing your stock down too fast. But if you've got no money in the bank, then start trying to churn that stock quicker. That's a really good guide. So like, if you can't spend all the money that you've got in the bank account every week, don't worry about clearing it down. But the moment you've got no money in the bank, get that stock moving, and you'll start to find an equilibrium point. And that's what you're doing. All we're trying to do is cycle that money. Bank, supplier, Amazon withholding account, and back to the bank. That's it. Do that and you'll be fine. I hope that helps. Is it possible to generate between 10 to 20% net profits per month with online arbitrage? If so, what would be your strategy? Yeah, it is. My God, I've seen posts. Look, if you want my advice, you can do that. I promise you that. I would probably be aiming for 10% if you are starting. Go under that estimation, and if you achieve more than 10%, fantastic, well done. And the reason why I say that is because set your expectations low, and then you won't be disappointed. But if you go into this going, I'm going to achieve 15, maybe 20% net margins, and you don't, then you're going to be upset. So I think if you're starting out, 10% is very realistic. We operate just under 10%, and the reason is the volume that we're doing. So like, while margin-wise we do less, physical cash we make more of. And again, you've got to understand your model, like what you're doing. But I think, the question comes is, if for you is looking at like, aim low, 10% really good. Lots of people, there's lots of strategies like buy and hold. You can like buy something today, hold it for 6 months, resell it, like end of line Lego, for example, if you want to go higher margin. But I think if you're just aiming for 10% net profits, fantastic. And that's a really good metric. Like, let's say, for example, you need $2,000 a month to live off. Well, you can then, now you've got to have sales of £20,000 or dollars a month. Fantastic. So then also as well, because I need to make sales of $20,000, and I buy something for $10, sell it for $20, well, that means I now need to spend $10,000 a month on stock. And also as well, that kind of like, how long does it sell through? Well, it takes 2 months for it to leave the money from my account, buy stock, get to Amazon, sell out, and then 14-day holding, and then back again. That might be like 2 months. Then you're like, well, that's 10,000 a month times 2 for 2 months of the cycle. That's 20,000. So to generate 2,000 net profit per month, I need 20,000 in cash to invest in stock, and I need to be investing that every single, all times, and that should generate where you are. And what we're not saying is you're actually going to make any more profit than to grow the business. Obviously, you want to make more. So I hope that kind of answers your question. But really good question. Aim low would be my advice. And then if you achieve higher, fantastic. And also, it doesn't matter if you get 7% net profit to start with. You can always build it up. That's a really important thing. Ali Raza, how to hunt brands? Not really too sure. I think there's a Smart Scout or something. There's a bit of software you can do something like that. It's really good for wholesale. I think I need to have a play with it, a look with it, but I've not done. But you can just look at brands and go find the supplier. Really simple. Let me know, Ali, if there's more questions. Elaborate on that down below. Xavier, thanks for explaining. Can you please recommend a prep center? Xavier, where are you? UK or US? I'm just going to see. Just got hi, Tom. I don't really know. US, I'm going to hold fire on recommending my prep center just because, or right now, because they've got a lot of backlog. So I don't really want to say like use them because we're still waiting for them to catch up, and I don't want to be anyone putting stock into a prep center which is struggling with existing clients before they take on new clients. So I wouldn't recommend that. In the UK, 2 that have been quite good, that have been really consistent over a long time. Fasttrack FBA, not Fasttrack, Fasttrack PACK, and then We Prep FBA over in where are they called? Somewhere in the east of England. They're good as well. So I've heard good things about them consistently. So do check them out. Ahmed, Thomas, you always look so fresh. What is your secret? Well, about 5 minutes ago, I was in the shower. That's why. And more coffee than you can shake a stick at. Oh, Ahmed, also as well, I really enjoy doing these live calls. I think you can probably get that from my energy. But also as well, being in Mexico with the sun. Whoa, who wouldn't be happy in this? That's me. So there's my secret. If you would start from scratch and you had to choose a marketplace, would you go for the US or the UK? When you are from the EU, you don't have to take that into consideration and means more profit. First things first, let's just attack this. Let's just kind of talk in. VAT is a perception that you're losing profit. It isn't. It's a tax which is passed down to the end user. It kind of passes through. It's a pass-through tax through all the businesses, which affects the end user. So yes, it's annoying. Yes, it looks like you can make more profits if you don't have it, of course, but it's just another form of taxation. So you have taxation obviously in the US in regards around like sales tax. Yes, it's lower than VAT, but there are variations on it. So just kind of be mindful. But I think also though, just because the tax is there, don't automatically assume you make less profit. There are a lot of people in the UK doing really good profit numbers. But if I had to answer your question very directly, and I'm still not in a really good place because I do like 2.3 million in the UK, and then we only do like 170,000 in the US. I'm still learning about the US. But if I had to kind of guess, I'd probably say the US. And the reason is bigger marketplace, more opportunity. That's it. There is more competition, but I just think, I think right now arbitrage in the UK is very well developed, and there's a lot of people doing it. And what have I seen personally? Margins declining over the last year. It's not horrendous, but they have been declining. So you've got to adapt. And admittedly, I do vanilla OA, but I just think the US has got a much bigger marketplace. So that would be my thoughts. And also, you get some really nice cashback rewards in the US more than the UK. And my God, who doesn't like flying first class? So or going on nice hotel stays. So that's what I'm looking at. So yeah, that's it. That'd be my answer. Camellia, I think that's right. Hello, can you give us any recommendations how to set up an LLC for the USA? Just look for a what are they called? A formation agent. Look for formation agent. That's what we use. We are building like a business in kind of like getting started on Amazon USA as like a standalone product you can buy. It'll kind of give us all. It'll kind of give you like, go to these guys, Here's what you need to do. Do this first. Make sure you do this. We will create that kind of content for you, which is going to help out. We will charge for it. Because it's taken a long time and we're still figuring out a lot of the kind of kinks right now. So like prep providers, how to create the LLC, what we recommend and why, and who to use to solve all those problems. But I think for you, just go to Google and type in formation agent. Generally, most people do them in Delaware or Wyoming. They're the common ones. That'd be my answer. But yeah, speak to a formation agent. They'll do it all for you. Hope that makes sense. Raj? Hey Tom, how do you go? Sorry, I'm really bad with names. How do you go about calculating how much bonus to pay your sourcing agent? How often do you pay this bonus per month or year? So by sourcing agent, I'm just going to imply you mean sourcing VAs. If you're talking about sourcing agent for private label, it's not something that I deal with, and I can't really help you on that. If you're going to ask me, I would really, if it is private label, go find some private label groups and ask that question on Facebook. There's some really good communities, especially the bigger ones. Find out, they'll give you some feedback. But if you're talking about VAs, we've got templates. So we have like 3 or 4 technically bonus schemes to incentivize VAs to help source, find more arbitrage deals. And we've just updated our what's known as MBA workbook. So whenever you hire a VA from the Fasttrack FBA VA Academy, you'll get the VA and you'll get lifetime access to the MBA workbook. And that's with all like these incentive schemes. So I've recorded videos about what the incentive schemes are, what level they work at. So like if you've just got one VA, use this scheme, it's very simple. If you've got a couple of VAs, use this one, and here's why. And if you've got like purchasing manager, admin assistants, and like multiple VAs, then use this one, it works out better. And there's reasons why you use each different incentive scheme, because they come a bit more complex. But at a very fundamental level, we do a percentage of profitability from zero accounting, so from the accounting books, not from like profit tools, and that's our net profits. And then also we do another kind of split between how much actual cash profits they bring into the business. So we're trying to recognize that some sources find more deals than others. So we want to kind of give them a higher bonus payout. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's it. Fasttrack FBA VA Academy, MBA workbook. You can buy it on its own, but I wouldn't. I'd buy the whole VA package. Really good. Xavier, normally when the shipping address prep center is different from the account address, the credit card company reject the transactions. How do you get around that? Oh, great question. Right, 1 second. Tom makes coffee and you can't even drink it. I need my coffee. So top tip for you is 2 things. I don't know how we've managed to do it, but we started with low value items and then we started getting more and more and more. We managed to get, so first things first, if you're not in the country, use a VPN. You have to do that because then you're going to have shipping address different, card billing address different, and IP address of the payment different, which is called red flag. Now, so you have to use a VPN. Obviously, we have that problem in America, and that's how we solved it. And also, we use VPN Express because they have the most number of servers, so you can choose different parts of the country, which in the US makes a bit of a difference. But then the other one is that we started with small value purchases and then did large. We started running the transaction through using the billing address as the prep center, and the card would just let it go through. So we started building it up. Now, I don't know whether it's something to do with like how the banks do fraud transactions, i.e. like They keep seeing the same address and like, okay, and they're not getting kickback to say this is fraud. So we just did that and it works. So also as well, you've got to kind of understand which websites will kick off and which ones don't. If you're getting rejected, top tip for you, email the bank, email the supplier site and ask them why. Why did you reject? Because interesting enough, it might not be what you think it is. If it's on the page, i.e. payment page, i.e. sorry, billing address and shipping address are different, we don't accept payments, try putting in the shipping address as the billing address, see if it goes through. A lot of times it did. And that because that's an on-page rejection, that isn't the actual card authorization from rejecting. So also speak to the supplier. My God, like get on the phone, like, hey, we're trying to use your website, trying to place an order, it won't work. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, the website stops it. But while you're on the phone, hey, like any chance we can email it to you and obviously get the order and we can put it through. We can do bank transfer, for example. Oh, by the way, do you do any discount if we do bulk purchasing? These kind of conversations are really great, and that's how you start getting deals that other people can't get. And then when you're seeing someone undercut, that's why they're like, how are they making profit? Because they got a deal you don't know about. So I hope that makes sense. English with me. Can someone start with roughly £1,000 with your VAT service, including wages, or is it not enough? My God, hell no. I'm guessing VAT service, you're talking about like VA service, not VAT service. I would not like, no. So if I give you a really simple, let's do a simple methodology. We talked about 10% net margin previously, and I'm going to assume that again. So £1,000, and by the way, if I take £1,000 today, and let's say, for example, I can spend it today, I'd buy stock from Amazon or the supplier, call it Walmart or Argos, and I ship it to Amazon, they sell it, buy for 10, sell for 20. So I'm going to take £1,000, I'm going to sell it for £2,000 now, and then I have to wait for that money to take 14 days before Amazon gets it out and it comes back in my account. Now, I said earlier, that takes about 2 months, that whole cycle. Now, the one thing you've got to realize is we sold it for £2,000, remember, and we're working on a 10% margin. So I just got £1,000, bought some stock, sold it for £2,000. Well, hey, £2,000. I didn't make £2,000 in profit. I made £2,000 in sales. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. And the profit on that at 10% margin, £2,000 of sales, 10% margin equals £200. Now, remember, we're taking 2 months to go through. So that whole process is going to take, you're going to get £200 profit over 2 months. You're going to net out £100 profit per month. Now, can you pay wages and VAs as well? Not in a million years, like really not. I think if you're going to do a VA, you probably want about, we say £4,000 minimum spare cash, always set in your bank. 10,000 is where a lot of people talk about. So for you can start this business with £1,000, but my God, I would, another statistic I'll share with you. We did ask our community, how long was it before they started taking a wage out of the business? And by the way, we didn't ask them how much money they started with. Most of the people said 12 to 18 months. That means they did this business for 12 to 18 months before they took a single pound out of the business. And I think you need to be aware of that. This is a business. It will pay you really well, but it will pay you really well in year 3. In year 1, do not expect anything. Year 2, you might be able to start taking what's known as a shockingly low amount. And then year 3, you're like, okay, now I can actually live. Year 4, life's good. Year 5, wow, this is amazing. Like I said earlier, there is no business or no job in the world, I think in 10 years' time, you can start getting $1 million paychecks. It just doesn't happen. Well, investment banking, but this job, building a business, you can. You just got to be willing to work for 10 years. Hope that makes sense. Teresa, hi, I've been applying for your company since last year. I've passed the pre-test, but it keeps saying that I didn't. Why is that? I'd probably just recommend, if you're saying it says pass the pre-test, there's a pre-test, and then there's another test we do. And if you haven't passed that next test, then it would be a no, unfortunately. That's the only thing I can say. If you ask me, the only thing you might want to do is try reapplying, use a different email address. It's the only advice I can offer you. But yeah, keep trying, Teresa. Claudia Chase, do you also participate in the Fasttrack FBA program, such as training or business strategy, or is it just with your team? So, great question. So if we clarify, I'm the owner and founder of Fasttrack FBA, and the training program for the VA Academy, I set up, I created, and now my team run it all for me. So if we clarify, I see a lot of metrics. So I see number of clients, number of VAs. I see complaints. I see feedback scores. We have regular ops meetings about it, but I don't get involved operationally. I still just make sure that it's running to the standard we require. And that's in the VA side. Now, the one thing I do with the VA, Fasttrack FBA VA Academy, is I do work with the clients. So when you sign up, you get 12 weeks of group coaching. So every Monday we have a group coaching call with all those clients, and we have a call, and they can ask you questions and I'll give them advice, because I realize that my value is about helping them, the business owners, not the VAs themselves, because the team can do the VAs. So there I will talk about soft skills, training for your VAs, what leaders can do within the business to help them grow. And if we have time, I will touch on business strategy as well, but the focus is around that. Right now, if you want business strategy as in like real business strategy, you have to pay for a coaching call. And I'm not going to promote that because I'm really not interested. It's time. But if you want to know, my coaching is £230 an hour, like 300 US, which is really expensive. And it's not for the fact that I don't think it's worth it, it's how much I value that time. I just don't want lots of coaching clients. So I hope that makes sense, but I do really help the clients in the group coaching calls, because that's where I can add the value. But I'm still aware of the VA side. But yeah, Claudia, I hope that helps. Alan, I just had a thought. I do private label, but instead of me expanding into Europe, would you potentially be interested, in theory, from buying some as a trial, just in theory for now? Great question. Probably not. No, I'm not interested. I understand private label. I understand the concept of private label, but I'm not good at it. And I'm a big believer in KISS, keep it simple, stupid. There is a lot of businesses I could go out there tomorrow and do, but I need to be very careful about the ones that I choose. And I'd really recommend for everyone, like, go super, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. We still do like 2.3 million last year on vanilla OA. Like, this isn't unique bundles. This isn't like creating your own listings. This isn't like really complex stuff. It's just simple, super simple. And there is a power in simplicity. So for me to start in private label wouldn't be that. It'd actually be creating complexity, and complexity is the enemy. I'm always trying to think out. So thank you for the offer. Really nice, but unfortunately, no. Thanks for your detailed answer, Thomas. Really appreciate it. Glad I can help. Does it make sense to use a service like Payability at some point so you can be paid daily invested again? Yeah, it does. Just do the numbers, run the numbers. Obviously, you do pay a percentage fee. You've got to work out if it's going to be profitable. And if you're making the same amount of money, then all you're doing is you're making the same amount of money for more work. And again, simplicity. So the payability isn't cheap, and if you're doing volume, lower margin, might not work. So you might be better getting like a working capital loan. There are other financing options. So do look at that. But put it this way. We don't do it yet. We might do it. I thought about it, and I thought about when I would need to start investigating payability as an option to do and do analysis around it. But right now we have so much financing from typical like Amazon loans, and they just offered us another 251,000. That it's just not worth like us looking at that, because I don't see it as a valuable proposition. So I hope that makes sense. So Zane, hi, is 20% profit margin in high value, low margin in the US Amazon market without losing advertising cost of sales? Is it feasible to do that on the product? Zane, it's like saying, like, is anything possible? Yeah, of course it's possible. Like, unless it's impossible, it's possible. And that's not impossible. It is like, but again, the question you're asking, and saying the question I would just come back to is, unfortunately, like, you're talking about private label, and it's not something that I do. We spend zero on advertising, so ACOGs I can't really talk about. So I'd go ask that same question in a private label group. But the short answer is yes, it is possible. My God, and you're talking about private label, and it's just not my specialty. So please don't take my answer as anything so it should have any weight. But if it's not impossible, it should be possible. That's all I say. Nice one. Thanks for asking. Abdul, how much capital is required for Amazon Wholesale in the US in 2022? My God, that's like, how much food do you need to eat for the day? Like, it could be as much as you want for a year. My God. The question is, how much do you need? Or how much have you got? And it depends what you're trying to achieve. Tony Robbins talks about it. Specificity is power. You're talking about how much capital is required for Amazon Wholesale. Well, let me ask you the question. What are you trying to achieve with Wholesale? Do you want to earn a wage? Do you want to earn $2,000 a month to pay yourself? Okay, well, then you can do the calculations, and I talked about them earlier. of the 1,000 starting rate to earn £200 in 2 months or £100 net profit. You can reverse calculate that to do it. So how much capital? I don't know. How much have you got? That's the answer I give you. Give me a clearer question and I'll give you a clearer answer. Teresa, I'd like to ask, is the recruitment process strict? Yes, very, very, very. For the VA Academy, we have something like a 200 to 1, I think, don't quote me, it might be like 200 applications for 1 hire. It's strict. And it's not to say that we want to get rid of people, not at all. We're looking for the right kind of person. That's it. So, as long as you're the right kind of person. The team are really good. They share a lot of videos like, there's a lot of videos I've done on YouTube about me interviewing. Watch them. You'll see the questions I'm asking. My team asks the same kind of questions. They're really good. Honestly, they're really good. We just want to know if this aligns. And by the way, it's like, if my team say no, you're not the right VA, don't take that as a personal insult. It might just be you're not the right person, or maybe your expectations are wrong. And if I put it in perspective of an Amazon seller, if someone came up to me and goes, "Hi Tom, I've got $100. I want to be an Amazon seller," my answer would be like, "Don't do it." And they're like, "But I've got $100. I want to do it." And I'm like, "It's not right." Or maybe maybe I got $100. I need to pay myself $100 every month. How do I get started on Amazon? I'm like, it's not possible. And even if they want it, doesn't mean it's right for them. And my team are very good at kind of filtering that out. So it might just be that, unfortunately, being a VA might not be right for you. And we have the history of seeing VAs we've hired who show the same kind of behavioral traits where we're like, this doesn't work because they keep dropping out. So I hope that makes sense. Let's kind of go through a great question there. Zane, is 20% profit margin in Amazon USA market without a cost feasible to the process of investment balance? I don't know, Zane. Great question, but no, I don't know. Sorry, private label again. I can't answer. Claudia, ¿cómo va tu español? Lo siento, no hablo español, solo inglés. I know that one very well. That means I can't speak Spanish, solely English. So yeah, no, my Spanish is bad. I'm not Spanish, I'm English. Carry on. Scott, do your VAs have their own subscription to online sourcing tools, or are customers of Fasttrack FBA subscriptions? Okay, so really good question. So if you're looking to hire a VA from the Fasttrack FBA VA Academy, let's be very crystal clear. We are a service partner who find, hire, train, and support you with your VA in the business. So we find the VA, but they are yours. You have to provide them with the tools to do the job. Now, what do I mean by tools? Well, whenever we do sourcing, we use tools like Buybot Pro, SAS, FBA Multi-Tool, Ace and Zen, RevSeller, Keeper. We have the ability to train them all for your VA, but you have to provide the tools. So whatever tools you provide us, we can train. But what we don't do is provide the tools themselves, because there is an ongoing monthly cost of those tools. You have to pay for that yourself because the VA is yours. You are not paying us an ongoing fee for that VA. So short answer, yes, you have to provide your own tools. Hope that makes sense. J Products. Hi, Tom. I'm based in Canada. Do you recommend starting in Canada first to gain experience, or begin in the USA from scratch? The Canada market has low opportunities. Great question. I can't give you an honest answer. Long story short, it's because I have no experience of selling in Canada, so I could not give you an honest answer. But I think, I do have experience of selling in the UK and in the US. And like I said earlier, I'd probably start in the US just because it's a bigger opportunity, bigger marketplace. And I just think that makes it a bit easier. So that would be my if I had the choice between Canada or the US, I'd probably, even without knowing the Canadian marketplace, I personally would choose the US. But I don't know Canada. Like, I really don't. So I don't know what value my advice has. That would be my thoughts. But hey, great question. Thank you for asking. Hope that helps. Harminder says, we decided to get a VA from your business, literally want to copy the same model and use in your business. What tips would you give if you wanted to scale quickly? I will promise you there is one thing which will make the biggest amount of difference, which is amazing, that very few people actually take up until they figure out how valuable it is. One second. With your VA, you get 12 weeks of group coaching. So you get to join me in a live call every single week where we talk about, it is very much like this, Q&A. It's not about me telling you anything. I'm here to answer your questions and try and solve them. And I go around everyone and I really try and get them. And I'll regularly overrun and kind of give business advice. Now, you said it, I want to copy your model. So like, the more time you can spend with me sharing how your business is going, and then asking me for my advice on how you should take your business to get to where I am, the quicker you're going to get there. That's it. You can buy courses, that's fine, but it's that one-to-one kind of feedback, and this is a group session, is going to help you. So the biggest advice I would give you, if you've got a VA from us, Fasttrack FBA VA Academy, is come to the calls every single week, turn up, talk, listen, learn. I promise you that you'll learn so much. And interestingly, the other people in the VA Academy calls, they take their businesses seriously, and they're doing 6 figures, going up to 7 figures, and they will learn, share what there's going on in business. So this is about building teams. That's the biggest thing, building teams. And the difference is get your VAs right, get it right. That's the difference between like a VA bringing in, like, let's put it this way, a spend of like £2,000 last week or £30,000 last week from the same VA. If you manage to do it right, your ability to scale with teams is incredible. But you have to get the teams right. So turn up to the calls. That's what I'd say. Quick question M. The person who asked for LLC Service Northwest seems to be really good, affordable, and great support. Cool. Thank you for sharing. I've never used them, but thank you for sharing. Do check it out. Obviously, it's not a recommendation, but thank you very much. That's what's known as a formation agent, Northwest. I will have a look. I'm going to jot that down on my little bit of paper. Northwest formation agent. Thank you so much for sharing, M. Annie, hi Tom. I'm doing online arbitrage in the UK and I found 2 to 3 good profitable deals. Is this enough as a VA? Please give me your recommendation. Oh, I don't know. If you're a VA, like I can't tell you the answer. The reason is I personally have had many VAs tell me I found good deals, or I'm an experienced sourcing VA, and then they share the deals to me, and I'm like, they are not good deals. Like, your idea of good deals and mine are very, very different. So I can't tell you an answer for that. If you've got a client, it sounds like you're a VA. If you've got a client, go check with them. And again, I can show you, my team can have a good deal, which I think is great. But someone else might be like, no, it's too low profit, it isn't going to work, or too much competition. So again, each business is different. Your deal is only relative to the client. It isn't relative to what you think. That's the important thing. Xavier, is mentorship worth it if I want to grow my business? I don't really do mentorship. Look, you can sign up for like year-long coaching. I don't recommend it. If people want coaching with me, and I ask you, like, don't attend these. I'm really helpful. Is the fact that if you've just got like a big question, like a lot of questions you want to get answered for the next 6 months, cool. Come spend an hour. We can talk about it. I'll give you some direction. Focus on it. But you don't need mentorship. Like, you don't. So I think just kind of like talk, learn the community, build. Get to know. You'd be fine. But I don't really do mentorship. And it's up to you. You can. There are people doing mentorship. I'm actually sorry. I tell a lie. Sorry. I assumed you were applying mentorship with me. I don't do that. There are other people, like if you had like Watch Me Amazon, they give you really good mentorship. If that's every week, I would never say that it wouldn't help. Of course, it would help. I'd never deny that. The one question you might ask is you might want to get mentorship from someone who's maybe not too far ahead of you, because the cost you're going to pay will be relative. So like someone who's doing like 6 figures, if you're starting out, they can help you do that first year. And then once you get to 6 figures, then go find someone who's bigger and then learn again. Learn from lots of people. I hope that makes sense. Adam has said, thank you, Adam. We've got 10 minutes. I'm still going to churn through these. Can I attend the VA Fasttrack FBA? I guess in training myself to learn the sourcing process first, and there I can better manage VAs and get higher afterwards. Unfortunately, no. You can't actually attend the training. You get a copy of the online training course yourself, but you don't get to attend the training from my team. That is only for VAs. And it's not for the fact that we don't want to help you out. We do. But it's the fact that Filipinos are very common at saying, yes, sir, no, sir. And they get quite scared when there's a client on the call. So they won't say anything. So what we don't want to do is distract from other VAs in the same training program. So hence why we don't allow clients on the training. That's cool. Let's carry on. Teresa, I passed already the pretest. I went to the initial interview a few days. I'm not qualified. Applied again, different emails. That's cool. Yeah, fine. Yeah, sorry. So Teresa, unfortunately, the answer is no. If you've done what I said, the answer is going to be no. I can't change that. My team do it, and I won't circumcise them. So I'm really sorry. Keep looking. Try again in 6 months' time, honestly. But unfortunately, it's not been a right fit. I am sorry. Junaid Jaffrey, I'm super new, learn and practice product hunting and listing on my own. Any tips I can get some practical experience? I'm guessing you're a VA by what you're saying. Go find a client. Do pay me per deal. That's it. Pass some deals and they'll pay you. Fantastic. That's all I recommend. Tom Oakes, could you talk more a bit about KPIs and share some examples? Thank you. Tom, I will. I'm guessing you're talking about VAs. I'm just touching, I can see another comment previously. Long story short, if I talk about the VA Academy, so this is quite a good one. So the first month of the Fasttrack FBA VA Academy KPI, we're after them to find 2 to 5 deals per day that we actually buy. The buy is the important part. 2 to 5 deals per day, that's KPI. And we average that out over the course of the week. Month 2 is 5 to 8 deals per day that we buy. Again, I don't care, I don't track, I don't talk about how many deals you can find. My God, I could find 1 million opportunities, but it doesn't mean they are. What I care about is if you find me 1 million opportunities and I don't buy any, well, that's a waste of my time analyzing 1 million deals. But if you find me 5 opportunities and I buy 5 of them, well, that's 5 great deals. Fantastic. So that's why we don't talk about how many opportunities you found. We just don't care. So how many you can buy. And then number 2, so that's 2 to 5 month 1, 5 to 8 month 2, month 3. We talk about 8 to 12, but we don't recommend you should continue with counting the number of deals. We recommend you should transition from deals per day to spend per week. In the UK, we talk about £1,333 worth of spend per week. Why? Because 1,333 multiplied by 4 weeks in a month is about £5,600 worth of spend. 5,600 spend at 30% ROI. So 30% of that is £1,600 worth of gross profits. because you sold that £5,600 worth of stock, generated a 30% ROI on it, now generated, which is going to give you £1,600 of gross profits. Your VA is going to cost you £400. Then you're going to be netting out 1,600 minus 400 equals £1,200 worth of net profits. So that's a very quantifiable measure between what the VA does on the input, i.e. spend, and net profits on the back end. And then obviously you can grow from there. So they're the kind of KPIs that we look at in the first 3 months. And then after that, thereafter, we'll only ever track spend. So my best VA record that she's ever done is £30,000 spend in 1 week, which is incredible. You do 30% ROI on that, and you can see very happy, but really, really good. So I hope that makes sense, Tom. Scott Law, do you think online arbitrage in the UK is now oversaturated, given that many people are now fishing in the same pond in 2022 versus early 2020? Is it more saturated? Yes. Is it oversaturated? You've got to be careful. I think a better question to be asked is, do you think that the question you're going to ask is there still money to be made in online arbitrage in the UK? Yeah, of course. My God, we did 2.2 million last year in sales versus 500,000 in the year prior. That's a 4x increase in 1 year. You just couldn't get that if it was oversaturated. So no, I don't think it's oversaturated. Is it more saturated? Yeah, one hell of, I explained that the margins are going down. Do you have to adapt? Of course. Yeah, never done that, but the market's always changing. Look, at the end of the day, there's opportunity everywhere. My God, you can still make money in affiliate marketing, and that's been around for God knows how long. Is it harder? Yeah, of course, affiliate marketing's harder than it was when it first started. The easy money's gone. But is there still opportunity to make money? Hell yeah. My God, I wouldn't be building my UK business if I didn't think so. I wouldn't be building my USA business if I didn't think there was opportunity there. And also, I wouldn't be building Fasttrack FBA if I thought the market as a whole was in decline and there was a lack of opportunity. No, not at all. Hey, don't get me wrong. I appreciate we make money from Fasttrack FBA, but the interesting thing is, and I kind of share some other stats, we've done 400 VAs for nearly 200 clients. That's 2 VAs per client, and we're getting more. Why? Because people are still seeing they can make money on this. Is there as much money as you could make 3 years ago? Hell, per pound invested? No, not at all. But you can still make money. I never do that. You just got to adapt. That's it. So yeah, still opportunity. Hey, that makes sense, Scott. Right, my God, I got to fire through. Let's be quick. So, Facebook user, I just started purchasing training with the VA, and you found for me he's amazing business. Fantastic. Glad I could help. Cool. Can one VA do both sourcing and purchasing for those who start with their first VA, or do you have hired 2 VAs? I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. My God, how long? VA sources for 8 hours. It should take you no more than an hour to buy the deals. Just buy them yourself. Really simple. Don't outsource it. Also, as well, if you do what you say you're going to do, if they quit, then your whole business is shafted. So I wouldn't do that. Too much risk exposure in one VA. Tom Oakes, when interviewing a VA, wants something that makes you think they are when interviewing for a VA, what's something that makes you think they're perfect for the job? I don't think about it that way. I think about it the way is like, I'll assume they'll be good for the job until they prove me otherwise. So history of 2 jobs, maybe their salary expectations are unrealistic. Maybe they've, like the home circumstance isn't right. Obviously they've applied, so they're interested. So what I'm now trying to do is discredit them to say, here's a reason why I won't hire them. So that's it really. Alignment, that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Scott Law, after hiring a VA from Fasttrack FBA, is there a minimum of hours per month? So the VAs that we hire, we always hire on a 40-hour contract a week, and they do full-time. That's it. We don't do part-time VAs. Yeah, we just don't do part-time VAs. They're always 40 hours a month. I hope that makes sense. Teresa, anyway, thank you for reading my comments. It's a pleasure. Cool. Thank you for the love hearts. Thank you very much for replying. Hi, Tom. The fees I understand for the VA Academy, but the VA wages, are they negotiable? Within reason. When you sign up, you can get to choose. You can pay a bit more, a little bit less, but if you try and go too low, we'll just say no, we're not willing to hire. And the reason is we've seen through our own experience, if you are going at a certain level, you just lose the quality. And we're a service provider who does a very standardized product in the VA Academy. What we're not trying to do is create miracles, i.e. you can find a VA whereby they're like $1 an hour. Like, we're not willing to do that. It just cause too many hassles on the aftercare. The VA will probably quit. We'd have to give a refund. So we're just like, no, sorry, we don't do it. So I hope that makes sense. We've got a wonderful comment here. Thank you very much. No idea there, so carry on. Thanks, Thomas. Much appreciated. No problem. Okay, Scott. After hiring a VA from Fasttrack FBA, how does the contract legality side of work? Is the VA contract to Fasttrack FBA so protected legally? So quick thing. Whether you're USA, UK, or Europe or America, you're employing someone from the Philippines. They're like, you're using international law. There is no real legality, if that makes sense. Like, if the VA wants to quit, they quit. If you want to fire them, while the contract states something, there's no legal law that they're bound by. They're technically classified as a subcontractor. So it's just an agreement with you. And you're going to really struggle to take them to court. So the legal side, they're not bound to Fasttrack FBA. We sign the contract on your behalf for you as the client. We send you a copy of that, and the VA signs it as well. The reason why we create contracts is the fact that you're trying to set a standard. You're trying to set a tone like, hey guys, this is a serious business. We're expecting serious results, and we want a serious professional working relationship. And how do we do that? Well, we set the tone with a contract, and that sets the tone to both parties. So legally, there's no real thing, but on the other one, it's technically a freelancing gig, but we set the tone with a contract. Hope that makes sense. How's Paradise? Hi, Tom. Some suppliers make it hard to get VAT invoices. How would you tackle this issue? We said hard, but not impossible. Keep going. Also, as well, in regards to VAT, check with your accountant, but my understanding of the situation is, so long as you've shown due process that you've attempted to get it, but also you can prove they're VAT registered. So if they've got a VAT number on their website somewhere, and you can make a copy of that, and then also you have evidence you've tried to request it and they haven't given it to you, and you know they're VAT registered, well, you can claim that VAT back because you've taken due steps to actually understand that they're VAT registered. You can prove that. And then number 2 is that you've tried to get it, but they've been uncooperative. So you're claiming the VAT back. So, and if HMRC investigate you, they'll be like, okay, look, I can see what you've done. And even if there's like a mistake, it's about taking reasonable steps to ensure that the VAT you're claiming back is valid. So you've already found out that the supplier's got a VAT number from their website. Fantastic. That's it. And you've tried, but that's it. So that's it. But again, check with your accountant. I'm not a professional. I can't pronounce that name. Got to go fast. Hi, Tom. How do you provide an invoice from a shop like Wilco? Some people say the receipts are not enough. Yeah, like if you get a paper receipt, it's got to be like it can't just be like toy. It's got to be Lego 154 . And if you are just getting the one with toy, go back to the customer service desk, ask them for a proper invoice. And if they can't get you one, I would probably question about buying the products there. And it's not for the fact that the products are illegitimate. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the products are legit or not legit. What matters is the fact that whether you can prove they are legit. Because when one person returns that product and says, I think it might be a fake because they clicked the fake button by accident, you're going to now have to prove it. And if you can't prove it, that's a mark on your account. Too many marks, you lose the Amazon selling account. So no matter how good a deal it is, unless you can get a good documentation to prove the supply chain, It's not worth it. Like, your account's far more important. So I hope that makes sense. Esteban, party and vodka. Damn right. Love party and vodka. No, I don't. I was well hungover yesterday. But moving on. Do your VA source manually for Fasttrack leads, or do they use technical arbitrage? I'm interested in your opinion about software. We don't use any software apart from, like, calculator tools like Bybot Pro, FBA Multi-Tool, etc. Tactical arbitrage, I've never really used. I just don't like the concept behind it. Why? Let's say, for example, you get tactical arbitrage, you run a scan, and you do a scan on Walmart, and it comes up with a deal. Fantastic. You want to buy that deal, don't you? Of course, that's what you're going to do. Problem is that everyone else found that deal who uses the same software, and the software makes it easy. So, and you've got to think, like, the bigger the software is, the more people who use it, the more people are finding that deal. And obviously, what does that mean? The more competition you're going to have. So the value isn't in finding deals. The value is finding deals which have less competition that you can make a profit from. So by the very nature of sourcing software, it creates natural competition for you, which declines your profits. So hence why we don't redo it. I don't like it. That makes sense. T Captain, do you only do sort of sourcing VAs? How about other types? Admins in process are only sourcing at the moment. Watch this space. Not anytime soon. Sorry. It's taking so much longer than I expected it to. Let's churn these through. We're going to try and wrap up very quick. What are things that beginners have to keep in mind before retail arbitrage besides site and LLC? Understanding profits, fees, margins. Watch my videos. I've got lots of videos. I hope that makes sense. Like the fees, and obviously really understand the fees. I promise you that. Like, really promise these under the fees. That's going to be shafting you. Just do a test purchase, buy something, ship it in, sell it, see how much profit you thought you'd make is actually how much you actually made. I promise you, things like learning to read Keeper, you've got to learn. Mr. Clapson, hi Tom. The fees I understand for the VA Academy, the wages are the negotiable. You talked about that already, so I'm going to skip on. So VAs that source 8 hours a day only cost £400 a month. That's correct. Yeah, 8 hours a day, £400 a month. It's about $506 a month in US dollars. Yeah, that makes sense. How important IT skills do you when you place with VA? Is there any training for VA? None. Like, if they can get on a Skype call, they've probably got the IT skills to use to do what we need to do. No requirement. Let's churn it through. I'm going to try and be really quick here. Where are the glasses, Tom? You looked hot in them. Thank you very much, Lloyd. Unfortunately, the survey came back. It's a mixed response. So unless it's a hell yeah, it's a no. So glasses are a no-go, I'm afraid. Philemon, is there a way to kickstart FBA by buying an already established account and trying to get into it? Okay, look. Yeah, you can. Private label, definitely. But for arbitrage, wholesale, maybe arbitrage, no. Yes, you're going to kickstart. You're going to have great sales. And then you don't know what you're doing and it's going to fail. So don't do it. Start from the bottom, work your way up. Kenya, what methods or programs is there do we prepare ourselves for the tax season? Speak to your accountant. That's what you need to do. Speak to your accountant. You should have an accountant. Trust me, because I don't know the answer for that one. Simmons, hi Tom, when is the right time for me to hire a VA from your opinion? When you understand the business model and you have at least, let's call it £4,000, 5,000 US in spare cash that you are not using in your business every week. Ideally like 10. If you've got 10, you're okay, but you've got to have spare cash. If you've got that money in the bank and it's not being used, and every month you're looking at going, man, that money's still there. Like, why am I not using that? Buy a VA. But if you're using all the money every week, don't get a VA yet. That's my advice. Getting through quick. Hi Tom, do you have VAs training for wholesale? No, we don't, unfortunately. I know the subject is arbitrage, but you can both do arbitrage. We do have clients who hire the arbitrage VAs, and they learn like deal analysis, and then they'll go and train them on wholesale. And the reason why people like to do that is because we're very good at hiring the right people. That's fundamental. If you hire the wrong VA, all the training in the world will not solve that problem. Hire the right person, they'll get the training, it'll be really good, and they'll be with you for years to come. Hire the wrong one, they might quit after 3 months, go find a second client, whatever. That's the problem. So we do get it, and that's why they use the academy, but then they'll go on and do the wholesale training. But it's not perfect. We are looking at it maybe later part of this year. No things yet. Ricardo, hey Tom, currently operating as a sole trader, not sure whether transition to the company. What are your opinions like? I'm doing a training again. I'm not a professional. But one thing that I did learn from my accountant, and also a lot of other people, is if you are a sole trader right now in the UK and you, you can go up to 85,000 a year just before the VAT threshold, 84,999, and then transition to a limited company, and it resets the VAT threshold. So top tip, if you're in that situation, keep trading until you hit up to 85,000 in revenue because you're not VAT registered yet. Then transfer over to limited company. Then you get another whole 85 to go up, and then you have to get VAT registered. Hope that makes sense. That's the thing. I did a video with my accountant about it. It was quite good. I really like this. Ask me anything. Contact. Fantastic. Thank you. Give me a big thumb. Hey, guys, you like to give me a big thumbs up. I love big thumbs ups. Thank you so much. Again, this is about giving value back to you, answering your questions. KJ, thanks, Tom. No problem. Facebook user. Another Fasttrack FBA question. Are they already prepared when you hire them? Like, what's the benefit of hiring them using? Two things. Number one, we're really good at hiring the right people. That's it. We hire good people. That's a very fundamental level. Our recruitment, screening, interviewing process is very, very, very thorough. Like, very thorough. That's one of the biggest values we get. So much so, we actually get a lot of clients who use our service to hire for other roles which we don't do the training for. And we used to do that, but right now we're so busy we can't. But they would be like, Tom, just find me a good person. And we're really good at that because it takes a long time. I have 4 full-time recruiters who deal with this, and we have a very good process that we go through. And then in addition to that is the fact that not only do you get a good person, you also get all the training, you get 12 weeks of support. I mean, you have a problem, my team will jump on a Skype call with your VA, start identifying that problem, and they don't let go until you say, I'm happy. But then not only that, you then get the MBA workbook, which is all like the add-ons, all the bonus schemes, everything else to help grow your business. And then not only that, you then get the 12 weeks of weekly call with me, which is about trying to build and scale your business. So all of that for like £600, $850, like, it's a no-brainer, honestly, no-brainer. And even if you go higher afterwards, a lot of people have VAs already, then they come use ours and say, actually, I'm really sorry, Tom, we're going to fire our original VAs and just come with you, because we get really good people. So that makes sense. So that's great advice. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tom. Last question. What about conflict of interest for VA hiring service? Not really sure what you mean, but we don't really get conflict of interest because they don't work for us. They work for the client. They are actually the client. The client owns the contract with the VA. They're not ours. Jack Hurst, can sole traders create accounts with wholesalers to be able to buy products? Yes, they can. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We're finished. I run by 6 minutes. I just want to say a really big thank you to all of you for your questions. I am here again next week, and quick question. Jonathan, is there any potential role of conflicts with VA working with different clients that you've heard of? And they'll always be saying, we're very good at screening for this. We're very, very good at screening for this. This is what you don't get. VAs actually working for other clients. If we see a history of it, we're like, no, not interested. And we're very good at finding VAs or supporting clients and making sure their VAs don't do it. And that's another reason why we do full-time only, not part-time. So I hope that answers the question. Right, moving on. So I am now going to finish. I just want to say thank you to all of you for the session. I'll be back next week. Give me a big thumbs up. Hey, hopefully it's been helpful, and keep smashing your businesses. Bring your questions, ask your questions. I will be here. It's been a real pleasure, and thank you so much for your time joining me. But I'll see you same time next week. Stay safe. Keep smashing the business. Have fun, guys. Bye-bye.